Hey, what's up guys? This is Captain Daniel Kim. In today's video, I want to talk about, should you buy drinks for women? Should you, I would say, do nice things right off the bat? So I do think doing nice things for women in the, later on when you're in I would say a decent kind of relationship, right? Either committed or whatever kind of relationship. Doing nice things for women is not a bad thing. It's being a gentleman. But the question is, should you do stuff right away for them? For example, buying them a drink before you even talk to them. Just like, hey, can I buy a drink? Or buying them gifts right away, right? Just doing super nice things. So there's a couple things where when it comes to the safety of the women and protection of the women, you should always do it, right? I do think like Ubering home, making sure she gets home safe, getting an Uber, all that stuff. But it all depends. So I was actually watching a video, a podcast yesterday, and it talked about if the woman, it was very successful men, two very successful men. They're talking about how if the woman respects them, they're willing to take care of them, right? I wouldn't say it was more like a sponsor provider game, but they say they're willing to take care of the girls if they respect them and also really grateful for what they do for the girl. So I actually made a post about this recently on my Instagram, and I said, if the girl thanks you just like a mom, your mother thanks you when you take her out to dinner, because at least my experience with my mom is that whenever I buy her dinner, she's like, what's gone to you? Why are you doing something nice? All that stuff. And I realized, wow, like when I go on dates with girls, they're so, not all, but like there's a decent amount where lately these girls, I would say they're more entitled, right? I don't even get a good thank you. And it's kind of rare to hear thank yous more than I would think if anyone buys me dinner, I would say thank you. But I think because beautiful women are so used to guys buying them dinners and nice things that sometimes they forgot to say thank you, which is kind of mind blowing, right? I was always taught to say thank you when you get it. So when it comes to buying nice things for girls or even buying them dinner or buying them a drink right away, I would do something called compliance tests, right? So compliance test is a long theory and game back way in the day where a simple definition of compliance is anything the girl could say yes or no to, right? So I would personally say before you do something for the girl, do something nice for her, right? It's kind of like with friendships, right? When you actually become friends with a guy, if he flakes on you, if he kind of seems like you buy him stuff or you buy him a coffee, coffee's simple, right? But you're not gonna buy him a really, really nice dinner right away. You usually split it with the guy that you're trying to be friends with. Or if you want to get to know him, you do buy him the dinner the first time, right? But you don't go to a bar and right off the bat, think about it more of a bar scene. That's the easiest way to kind of say analogy in game, right? When you go see a guy at a bar and he's really cool, he opens up you and you're really vibing out with the guy, and he's like, just a bro. You're not gonna be like, yo, I want to buy a drink to get to know you. No, you kind of vibe with him, be like, yo, you're really cool, man. Let me buy you a drink, dude. You're a really cool dude. So that's the same concept from a girl. And I know because you feel like, oh, if I buy this girl a drink, she's gonna stay and all this blah, blah, blah. But what I strongly recommend when it comes to women, don't just buy a drink right away. One of the biggest compliance tests that I would use is she willing to stay there with you? Is she at the bar because of you and not because of the drink you're gonna buy her? Because you also don't want the girl to feel like she's obligated to stay because you bought her a drink. This kind of comes with first dates too, right? Some girls, they just won't come out because of you. I'm sorry, it's just how it is, right? Some girls, they're like, they look at you, they look at how you talk and whatever. They're like, I don't want to go out with this guy unless there's a reason other than this guy to go out. And there's a choice between, I always tell my students, especially in the very beginning, like as long as you get her out, you have a chance. So I say get her out. So sometimes you have to use a really big carrot, right? Like a really nice restaurant, a really nice venue, box seats to the Lakers game, whatever. But as long as you get her out, at least you have a chance to change your mind to maybe enjoy you more than the experience you're gonna give her, right? But that's why we call it game, right? Especially when, as guys, we might not be the best looking, we're not the richest, or like it's just how it is, right? Beautiful women. I remember this girl actually a couple days ago said to me, because I posted that, I was kind of talking about sugar babies and how like not all women who are beautiful are sugar babies, right? And she made a comment that attractive guys she said this. She said rich guys like attractive women, or she said guys with money like attractive women like guys with money. And I said, okay, cool. But you know what I said? I said, attractive guys with money don't like attractive women who want money, right? It's true. Like if an attractive guy with money, he kind of has a whole package, right? He's not gonna just pick random girls, and especially if they all just want to mooch off him, right? What's one of the worst things we hate about guys who are friends with? The guys who mooch, right? Because you're just a value seeker, a value taker. So same thing with the girl. Don't give her value right away. unless she at least gives you some kind of value. It doesn't have to be lovey-dovey feelings. She doesn't have to like you. She doesn't have the right to like you. She doesn't have to want you. But at least there's a respect. There's a little bit of gratefulness. There's a little bit of thank you. She's actually enjoying conversation with you. She's not giving you attitude, right? Because these days, I feel like because we have more guys who learn how to make more money and have money and not learn social skills and how to like really like, because I feel like if you use just money or gifts or whatever you gotta do to convince the girl to like you, I feel like you're trying to get her to like you things outside of you. And the issue with that at the beginning, it might work, right? Even me, right? I use my looks a little bit or use what I gotta do, my resources, but eventually you have to get her to like the real you so you could just be the real you and she'll like you. And obviously when it comes to short-term relationships, one night stands, that's a little different story. But I would say like eventually you have to make her like you and not what's outside of you, right? And this is like something we call surface level game versus inner game, right? And inner game takes a long time for my students, even myself, to master because we're still trying to figure ourselves out. And most of the time our validation, right? Even in game, like, what's one of the biggest struggles with guys when we go out and before we had online dating, also we actually had to go out and approach girls. We would say it was a terrible night. Back in the day, normal guys who just go out, they would say it was back in the day, if they didn't get a girl, they would say it was a terrible night. But the guys who really actually succeeded in terms of dating women were the guys who went out, practiced, and even if they got no numbers or just got rejected, it's the ones who said, okay, what did I learn today? Who kind of broke down the feel report of the day and be like, okay, what did I do well? But what did I didn't do well? Did I still approach when I was so scared to approach? So those are the guys who, it's not about just being positive, right? Because the thing about dating is that there's always another human being across from you. And she is just a multitude of emotions, logic, feelings, and all these background information. So like, it's impossible to get every single girl to like you, but yet guys try to do this, right? So back to the point is that you want the girl to like you a little bit before you just reward her. And this, why I'm telling you this story is because actually one of my friends, or actually this is a girl that unfollowed me first on Instagram. We were talking, we met on a dating app, and I was supposed to meet her in another Asian country, but then now in the country I'm in right now, she says, oh, I'm coming. So now she's following me, right? Because she knows that I could bring her some new value inside this new country she's coming in. So I was like, okay, fine, perfect. You know what? And what was special was that it was her birthday, and I love taking care of people on their birthdays. Honestly, she is attractive, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to hang out with her, especially she's from another country. But I was like, okay, it's your birthday. I don't mind spending time with you. I'm gonna like help you out. So one of the first things I offered just right away was I was gonna give her a ride from the airport to here. So I mean, to think about, like, I remember when my parents came to my airport last year. I know this sounds kind of bad, and I hope you guys don't judge me, but whenever my parents came to me, I would just call them a taxi, make sure they get home to me safely with a taxi. But I was like, whenever a girl I'm dating comes, I actually go to the airport to go see her. And I know some of you guys are good children and you would actually go see your parents at the airport, but usually because of the traveling time there and back, especially when a place like Seoul was like an hour drive or hour subway ride, I would just get a nice VIP taxi for my parents. But I realized, how could I just like go to a girl and not go to my own parents? So last time I went to the airport for my parents and actually picked them up and actually came back with them and helped them with their luggage and stuff. And long story short, I'm like, with this girl, right? I wanted to be nice. So I wanted to first see, right, is there gonna be any compliance? But I also, like I'm telling you guys, I wanted to see a compliance from her. So yesterday I called her. She was about to fly in and I was like, hey, call me because I need you to tell me the details, or at least show that she's willing to pick up the phone call. And we never met, so I wanted at least a FaceTime video to make sure we're good. But she didn't even pick up. And the funny thing is, okay, you'd be like, maybe she was busy. No, we were talking within, she messaged me 1 minute and I messaged her right away. So there's no way she wasn't on her phone, right? And then she ignored me and I found out she's over some guy's house. She was over some other guy's house. So think about this, right? As a guy, she's at some other guy's house. She's coming to me, and I get it. She could have a date with whoever I want, but I'm doing her a huge favor by picking her up at the airport, right? I'm doing something very nice for her, and yet she can't even pick up the phone just to give me the details. She could literally walk out of this guy's house and at least pick up the phone and talk to me for a little bit, but she's playing the game, and I totally get it, but I'm not gonna be played. So this is a good example of a girl who I knew because this is where Instagram messes you up a little bit for girls too. They post all this stuff, and all those girls who are in Ferraris or nice cars and they don't post a guy next to them. Think about it. Come on, we're not stupid. Most guys who game like me and my students, they know that you're with the guy. That's fine. I'm okay with it. Whatever. If I'm not gonna do that for you, you should get it from another guy. But if I do something nice for you and I'm gonna go on a date with you and I'm about to do something nice for you, and yet you're not picking up my phone call or responding back to me because you're with another guy, that's where I think you should just let those girls go. Or just don't do the nice thing for them. It's okay to still see them, but just don't do the nice thing right away. So for me, with this girl, I think maybe she arrived right now, but I'm not gonna go pick her up because I have other stuff to do. I changed my plans and I'm not gonna go pick her up because it's not about like, oh, she didn't pick up my phone call. It's more like, yo, like I am willing to go pick you up, take time out of my day, pick you up. The respect is not there for you to even tell me and call me the details, because I asked you to call me twice. So there's 2 failed compliance tests. So what I'm saying is, if you're gonna do something nice for a girl, based on what the action is, even if it's super easy, right? Buying a drink, it's only $10, right? You're just gonna buy her a drink. Don't give out stuff for free, because the moment you still give out for free, that thing is for free and it's no value. I'm telling you, every time you buy a girl a drink for free, that drink, sometimes she will just leave it. She won't drink the whole thing. She won't even do whatever, right? It depends on how much she values it, right? If it's like a really nice thing that she values, usually expensive things, then it might mean more. But even if it's really expensive, I'm telling you, the girl treats if she buys something, let's say you buy her one bag and she has the same bag, but one bag she really worked for it and the other bag she just got it from you, she's gonna sell the bag that she worked for, right? That's just human psychology. So what I'm saying is, when you guys are doing nice things for women, right? One of the biggest things you guys have to realize is, don't just like do nice things for girls. Try to get some kind of compliance from them. Try to do something where, the 3 biggest compliance I would say is, if you want to do nice thing, is she's spending time with you. So maybe just at a cold approach at a bar. She's hooked. She's willing to stay with you. She's actually giving back on the creation. She's giving value to your talks, right? I would say that, and she's actually being respectful, right? You could tell she's gonna be respectful, and she's a girl who would say thank you, right? And that's like, even on dates, like, don't just, obviously in dates you kind of have to like get the carrot to get her out, but like, don't keep seeing her and doing nice things for her if she's willing to not do anything. Like, if she's not even texting quick, you could tell she's just going out with other guys. Like, I know you're like, but I want to beat the other guy. But if you're not willing to do what the other guy's doing, like sending her flowers all the time and doing nice cars and all this, whatever, depending on a beautiful girl. And I know it sounds like I'm dating a lot of gold diggers. I'm just saying, overall, yes, attractive girls have this lifestyle where not every one of my students could upkeep with them, right? And if you're not willing to give her what she's doing with that moment with that guy, you can't get butthurt, because she just wants that and that guy just wants to give it to her. Am I saying that he's getting played? I don't know, right? She might actually just like him more. But the question is, right, do you want her to kiss you right after she kissed another guy? Or let's say, the day before, she's on an Instagram story and she's with another guy and you don't know what really happened, but she went on a date night and she had sex with another guy. Let's say you genuinely know she had sex with another guy. Do you want to have sex with her the next day? I don't know, it's up to you. I guess if you really don't care and if it's just a video game for you. And this is why they say sociopathic guys are really good in game, but I'm more emotional, and it's kind of, I guess, ego. It's definitely for sure ego. Like, I shouldn't care that she slept with another guy, but I just want to be second choice, right? Like, I don't want to be plan B. It's just my own worth. Like, for example, the girl who's coming, she couldn't even pick up the phone call to like just tell me what time she's coming exactly, give me the details, when I gave her the option that, hey, I'm gonna go pick you up. So shit happens, and I think that's what game is. It's like, you kind of have to know what you want to. This is where inner game is important. The more, actually, a lot of coaches, we teach outer game first, but if you teach inner game first and you help what the student really wants, that actually helps the student get what he really wants, and it's more easier to figure out the outer game after that. So guys, like this video, subscribe, if you really enjoy this content. It's always a pleasure giving you, and I always give you my own life experiences, teach you what I'm going through, so you guys don't make the mistakes I am, right? Because this could have been go their way, where I could have been like totally like, yeah, I went to still go pick her up, and I still would have made this video and tell you I made a mistake. Because mostly if I want to pick her up, I guarantee you I'd be taking care of her a lot in this Dubai trip. And if I can't take care of her the way she wants, she'll probably find another guy, a habibi, to take care of her in Dubai. So that was, this was fun. I always love doing these videos, guys. If you want to do a one-on-one call to see where you're at and everything, join my Facebook group or get on a call with me at dominateasiandating.com. All right, guys, it's been a pleasure. Captain Daniel out.